We are live. I can imagine that we are live. Guys, we are just going to, quickly do this. I do not have a lot of time to actually to waste because today has been kind of a busy day. And because of that, I kind of, delayed a lot of stuff towards this time. And right now, I am kind of super in a hurry. I've never been in a hurry for so long time, but these two pieces right here, this one, I'm just going to grab the other one, so that you can actually see it. I was saying to myself, I just cannot afford to allow these pieces go without, documenting them on a live stream. At least for those of you, trying to flip pieces for profit, this is exactly what you need to be doing. You need to be working hard. You need to be making sure that when items sell, you are able to quickly ship them out to the buyer. This is a beautiful PC. This Fujitsu, this is not a Fujitsu, this ThinkStation, it's a Lenovo ThinkStation, sold for 446 euro, guys. This is love. Sweet bread, So because of that, I'm actually doing my best to ensure that this PC gets shipped out so that the buyer receives it tomorrow. That's the idea. I don't want to delay it any further. Of course, it was ordered yesterday while I was actually making, a video for you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and be subscribed. When I'm less busy later on, I can actually make a more chilled video. But right now, I'm going to pack these pieces, like professionally pack them the way, it appears when you buy it from a responsible online marketplace. And eBay, like it's a responsible online marketplace. We don't want to disappoint this trust. Buyers go there to buy stuff, and when they see these offers, they click on it, they buy it, and they get a very beautiful PC like this. So the last thing you want to do, appearance matters. When the PC gets delivered to the buyer and he receives it and sees the PC looking very, very clean, just like this, the buyer is going to be super happy. And all you get, is a positive review. And this is exactly what I am trying to get with this transaction. 446 euros, guys, is a lot of money. You do not want to make any jokes otherwise. If the buyer receives it and the piece is falls short of what he or she expects, they are going to, send it back. All right. See, later on, I'm still going to make a video like detailing exactly how this PC was packed, what exactly you need to know, or what exactly you need to be careful about. Definitely going to do that, but for now, just bear with me. I just wanted you guys to see a little bit of the action. Of course, if you are subscribed to the channel, there are so many, actions that you can actually get to see. That is done. That just goes to the side, and this comes up here. This is a Fujitsu Esprimo. I think a D756, also a very decent PC. It's not as bulky as the other one, and because of that, it might be a little bit easier to pack this. Even then, the Lenovo is also not so, heavy to pack. This PC here sold for, I'm just trying to check. This sold for 245 euros. Decent transaction, decent buyers, buyers that won't stress you. They go to your website. Talking about eBay right now. They get there, they take a look at what they want. They carefully read the item descriptions, and then they go ahead and buy it. Today I did get a funny buyer because he bought a processor for my shop, and that was yesterday. Actually bought it. I was already preparing to send that a processor today, only for me to receive a notification that a buyer wanted to cancel a transaction. When I checked it, it was this processor. Sometimes, guys, this is just a very practical tip for you guys. If you have items in the best shipping time you want to actually put on your shop, is for you to ship out items the next day. Because sometimes if you offer this 1 day handling time, you might have a situation where people buy your items, and before you know what's happening, they want to cancel the transaction. And if you are this kind of person that's fond of shipping out items so quickly, what you get is a situation where somebody buys your item, you try to ship it out, and then you've already shipped the item out, and then you receive the notification that the buyer wants to cancel it. There's nothing that could be as inconveniencing as you haven't shipped a PC only to realize that the buyer is not interested in the PC. Guys, that is a little bit inconveniencing, and I hate it, especially when you are shipping out, you know, shipping out expensive stuff like this. So what I normally do is to give a 1-day handling time, allow things to settle. When they buy these items, let the buyer, kind of cool off, because some buyers, they are fond of, buying an item and still going online to check if the item they have bought, if it's actually a good deal. And this is what we call buyer remorse. They have this kind of character. They buy something and they are still not satisfied. They still feel like it wasn't the best deal. See, I need a power cable for this PC. 1 minute. Just going to grab something I have here. Exactly. You do not want to forget this, because if you do forget this, man, it's going to be bad, because some buyers do not have an extra power cable at home, and because of that, you forget it, you are in for a long thing. All right. So invoice, also do not forget, because if you forget this, these are the things that brings about those unnecessary emails. Hello, can I please get a copy of my invoice? And when it happens like that, you do not want that to, and you are very, very busy, you might not have time to actually, send the invoice, and that's a bad buyer experience. So the best thing you want to do, just to make sure, whoa, this can always happen. Sellotape finishing right in action. All right, so I'm going to bring that there. I'm going to take that down. Luckily, I have a replacement. You always want to have things like this in your warehouse. Otherwise, yeah, typical, classical beginner mistake. If you do not have this in your warehouse and it gets finished in the middle of an action like this, then, like I say, always you are in for a long thing. All right. All right. So that's done. Just want to take that there. Bring that back. Bring that back. This right there. This goes right there. And this goes right there. All right. So what I want to do now is to make sure that this thing right here is placed just on the side. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the middle. I like placing it on the side, just like that, and this is done. All right, so the next thing I have is this bad boy here, and I'm actually using a package I already used before. This was actually used in sending my 3D printer, and it's kind of a very, very tough package, tough box, and I feel like this is just good enough for packing something like this. But the problem is it's a little bit too big, and because of that, I have to actually go ahead and fill the box. All right, just like that. Okay, way to mute this thing, because I just quickly want to All right, guys, that was sorry for that. A customer actually did call me because yeah, the address on the invoice was wrong and he wants a correction. So what they have to do in this case is to send me an email with the correct address, and then I can go ahead, correct the invoice, and send them per email, you know. All right, it wasn't a direct mistake from it wasn't a direct mistake of mine, but sometimes some buyers, they go ahead to buy stuff on eBay, but they forget to, you know, edit the address field, you know. Sometimes these are companies buying this stuff, but then they order this item through their private eBay account, and when I'm printing out my invoice, you know, the address automatically gets pulled out, and it happens that it's the address of the private individual, but then the person or the buyer wants the address, you know, corrected to the company's address. It happens like this all the time, and this takes less than, you know, 10-15 minutes to sort out. Long time ago, I would not pick this call, you know. I would be like, no, I don't want any surprises from buyers. If anybody actually has any reason to reach me, you can actually go ahead and send me an email. But the current, you know, mode I am now with my business, I'm going to be able to reach out to anybody that try to call me. I'm going to definitely make sure I respond to the call, because that is a game changer. If you can give, you know, your buyers that, you know, thank you so much. Sorry, Enpa, I'm just taking a look at your chat right now. Ameni, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. See, yes, I'm just trying to do my best, you know, trying to make sure you guys, just give me 1 minute. I still have a few minutes to just chat with you guys. I think this stream will be ending in like 5 minutes. Give me 1 minute. All right, so good to have you around. I'm just trying to take a look. I didn't take a look at the chat. Sorry, Enpa, it will be great to know where you're actually watching from. That will help me to, you know, put things in the perspective that I want things to be. I am actually a reseller in Germany, and I flip used PCs, laptops, monitors, and every other thing IT hardware related. But then the knowledge I share on this channel is actually enough for you. If you flip any other thing, it could be clothing, it could be books, it could be shoes. There is actually a lot to learn on this channel. So if you are not subscribed, sorry, Enpa, I hope I'm pronouncing the name very well. If not, please let me know. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and be subscribed. Smash the like button, and we are ready to roll. I'm from Moldova. That's great. Good to know, man. Thanks a lot, man. It's amazing how YouTube kind of distributes videos all over the world, all the way from Moldova. That is great, you know. I just finished packing 2 pieces now. They sold for pretty decent prices. One sold for about 440 something euros. I don't know if you saw it. If not, watch the beginning of the video. You can see that. And the second one did sell for about 245 euros. And I felt like I had to spontaneously go on a live stream just to kind of catch up with you guys, because it is what it is. If you are in business, especially an active business like this, you sell stuff on eBay and you have to physically do this gymnastic of, you know, packing this stuff and carrying these pieces, cleaning them, preparing them, testing them to be sure that they are working. You pretty much have no time left. You know, we don't have eBay. Ah, really? Are you kidding me? You don't have eBay in Moldova? This is I thought eBay was kind of all over the world, so to say. I'm not so sure, forgive me. We don't have eBay here. I said B2B mostly. That's great. That's you see, I'm thinking of this B2B thing. This is my next milestone, you know, to be able to just sell directly to businesses and call it quits, you know. Yes, there's the good side of doing B2C, which is selling directly to the customers, but sometimes you have to be ready, like an IT support for these buyers. Right now, for like 5 minutes, a buyer called me and said, sorry, wanted something with the invoice changed and stuff like that. But if it were a business customer, I mean, a business customer would not buy something and tell you that, sorry, it's a private address and then you have to change it. But then if you sell to the business customers, I kind of imagine that the profit line is a little bit lower, but you do not have this headache. First of all, the guarantee. Sometimes you give them just, I don't know, 14 days to decide they want to have it. And if you have very good business customers, they do not really return stuff. I am subscribed and I press the button on every video. That's so good from you. That's so good. That's what kind of stuff do you sell actually? Are you selling computers also, or you sell soft goods? I don't know, clothing, but I cannot imagine that you sell hardwares also. Let me know. That would be great to know. And how is this is a lot. I mean, I don't want you to stay there and keep chatting and writing, but I want to imagine that you say B2B. Of course, you must have very good supplies of this, whatever items you sell. Once again, I imagine that you sell IT hardware. If that is the case, let me know. I came from IT support. Wow, we have an IT support business here. The refurbished products are an addition. Respect. You are, yeah, I can tell from what you are writing that you are already in the game. All right. So we might have to meet up, some other time, kind of chat, share ideas. But I do eBay predominantly. I also sell on my website, hardwaremoney.de. But eBay is just where the traffic is, and we are taking advantage than yours. You also would be surprised that prices are 15 to 20% higher than yours. It's possible, I can imagine, because I do not know where these pieces come to you guys, perhaps from the UK, I don't know, but it's very, very possible. We have very big organizations here, and typically a lot of the pieces are just coming from the big organizations right here in Germany, and it's very easy for the organizations to sorry, I'm trying to check the time. I really need to start driving in like 5 minutes, but I still can hang with you just a little bit. Yes, it's very easy for the organizations to do a kind of rollout, and because of that, we are able to get this stuff sometimes once in 2 years, sometimes every 6 months, depending on what agreements these companies have with the leasing companies. And laptop servers, all-in-one desktop workstations. This is the game, guys. This is the game right now. Do you do Lenovo's also, ThinkPads? If you do Lenovo ThinkPads, that would be great to know, because right here, ThinkPad is one of the best, hottest cake, the business laptops, E13, E14 Gen 3 is one laptop. I sold like pretty much a lot of them last week, and I did also show some of the, behind the scenes here. I buy from wholesalers in Romania, Belgium, UK, yes, USA, all over the world. This is what it is, and this might pretty much account for the fact that the prices are a little bit expensive. But the good thing is, if the business buyers have these items, they do not have to think about going to import them directly from Romania, which could be sometimes a little bit of a hassle. If they can get the item directly in Moldova where you sell, I think there are some serious businesses that will say, you know what, I do not care to pay a little bit of a premium, a little bit extra price. I just want to get the item, and I want to be sure that the item is in very good condition, and the support, like your company can pretty much give them support on ground. I do Dell, HP mostly, very good. Want to stock up with Lenovo, maybe coming next month. Yes, these are the business laptops here. I don't know, for one funny reason, we tend to have more Lenovos in Germany here than Dell. And HP, yes, the HP Elite books, they are also very good. 850 G5. I think I did that last. I don't have my big monitor here. I can't really go to my eBay shop to see a lot of this stuff, but yeah, we did pretty much like 5 or 6 HP Elite books last week. All right, business is good at the moment. With the Windows 10 support pretty much coming to an end next in like 1 or 2 weeks. I want to imagine that people are already beginning to upgrade their systems, trying to see how they can get 8th gen PCs, laptops and above, because in this case you do not have to do the workaround in trying to install Windows 11. So I kind of noticed a little bit of an increase in orders in the last few weeks, and hopefully it stays like this. But sometimes things could be pretty much very, very quiet. eBay is doing a lot, making sure that items are being shown to potential buyers all over the world, all over Europe, Germany. Like I said, they are doing a lot of adverts. I see their adverts on pretty much everywhere, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, which is kind of beautiful. So it makes sense to just stay with where the traffic is. Of course, I also do a lot of marketing on my other channel, Hardware Money. I have a YouTube channel where I pretty much do tech stuff. So there I actually tend to market my, my website more. But right here is just about eBay, and eBay doesn't seem to disappoint. Everything has pretty much been very, very good. So sorry, Empire. I really do appreciate you. And this year I stocked up with 8+ Gen. Yes, that's where the action is right now. I mean, it's just going to be like that as soon as Windows 10 gets no more security support. I think the Gen 8, the Gen 7, yes, are just going to be what people are going to look up to. And I also realized that the prices are pretty much getting really, really good right now. For really decent prices, you can actually get a Gen 8, laptop, Lenovo, HP, and 1 or 2 years ago, it wasn't like that. These things were still very, very expensive, but every year it's going to be, much cheaper, just as you have the 3rd gen, 4th gen, 6th gen, being phased out of, of the system. Sorry, Nampa, I really have to go. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you guys are watching this stream on replay, please do me a favor. Go ahead and click on the like button. Be subscribed to the channel. Until I see you guys again later today, have a beautiful evening.